Magandang araw, Pilipinas! Welcome to TicTALK with Aster, Amoyo. Sa hapon ito, or rather sa hapon ito, ay sino naman pong espesyal na episode ang inyong matutunghayan dahil for the very first time, I think this is very rare, alam kong bihira itong mangyari, na makakapanayan po natin at makakahuntahan, makakakwentuhan ang mag-inang ito. Alam kong kilala niyo sila, mga kaibigan. One of the Golden Divas. Alam niyo na kung sino siya. At isa sa mga Matinee Idols noong 70s, 80s, actually 80s na. Mga kaibigan, let's all welcome Carmen Soriano and Lloyd Samartino.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat.
Salamat din.
Naku, ako dapat ang magpasalamat, diba?
Hindi naman naalala mo.
Of course! Matagal ko nitong gustong gawin. In fact, nung buhay pa si Kuya Germs, we have this segment na Celebrity Talk.
I remember.
Nasa line-up ko na yun talaga. In all fairness, hindi ko... Alam ko, I tried contacting Lloyd, kaso lang at that time, busy ito eh. Most of the time, nasa America, di ba?
There's a lot of traveling.
Oo, that's why. So hindi ko mabuo-buo yun. I've been wanting to have you both as early as then.
Finally, pandemic pa. During the pandemic.
Kung kailan pandemic, di ba? Talagang alam mo, it will really happen.
It's meant to happen.
Oh, it was meant to happen. At saka at the same time, it pays to wait.
That's right.
Di ba?
Right.
It pays to wait. Ngayon, para akong na-starstruck. First time ko ito, mga kaibigan, to be honest, the first time ko pong ma-interview ang isa sa mga bumubuong. Actually, she's one of the music legends. Kung music icon.
With all the stars that you've known and handled. Imagine, so the years up to now, you're active. Bawa ko sa iyo, Aster.
Might as well. This is your history, di ba?
Yeah,
I don't even know anything about this new face. What, your program, you were able to put this together.
With the help ng aking mga partners na sa Studio Manila.
Yes, congratulations.
At saka mas malaki na ang reach ngayon, ma'am. Kasi anyone who's online,
everybody does it now.
Exactly.
Ikaw, sigurado, meron ka, di ba? Everybody does that now. Kaya nga, well, hindi na uso yung mga showbiz talk shows, di ba?
Hindi.
Kasi,
right.
let's say, may kontrobersiya sa'yo.
Pwede mo nang sagutin directly.
Exactly.
You don't have to...
Sa'yo na. Sa yung YouTube channel na, kahit sa iba.
Right.
So, that was the very reason kung bakit nangawala isa-isa ang mga showbiz talk shows on TV. So, anyway, Lloyd, it's so nice seeing you again. Aside siyempre sa mamo, na first time ko nakaharap talaga one-on-one, ganito, up close, di ba? And in all fairness, Carmen, during your time, that's what we consider the golden age.
Golden years
ng music business.
It was harder for us to be stars during our time.
Yeah.
We had no practice in karaoke. It made a lot of singers. Wala pa nun. So whatever you can come up with,
walang lip sync, ma'am, diba?
It's more a personality type thing together with, of course, the voice. Yes. Bago ka maka-step into the door. But now everybody sings very well. Most stars,
grabe ngayon. At saka ang maganda kasi ngayon, marami ng coaches eh.
Yes.
Di ba? Unlike before, talaga you have to do it on your own.
Right.
Hindi ka dancer, you can dance. Marami na choreographer.
At saka maraming daya.
Yeah. Yes.
You have managers to take care of everything. You have people to help you out who are
stylists, everything.
Stylists, But still, I still like those years.
Yes.
The way we would sing.
Me too.
Is more. Kasi, if I had a voice like Regine and, all those stars that sings well, it's different. But I had to incorporate my personality.
Packaging.
Yeah, package myself differently.
Hindi kasi kayong tatlo nun, ikaw, si Pilita, at saka si Carmen Patenya, distinct ang inyong personalidad sa isa't isa, di ba?
Yes.
Pati ito kasi may pagka-finesse eh. Ikaw yun eh, di ba? Si Maming medyo may pagka-galaw-gaw. Iba naman ang dating din ni Pilita. So, ang ganda niyong tingnan, lalo na pag kayong tatlo magkakasama, di ba? Kasi pag nasa stage kayong tatlo na magkakasama, makikita mo agad yung di ba? Differences yung tatlo eh.
Yeah.
Was there a time na nagkaroon kayo ng parang rivalry? Kayong tatlo. Carmen Patenya, Carmen Soriano, of course, and Pilita Corrales. Was there a time?
No. You see, it's not like the movies, no? we live separate lives unless you reach out talaga para magka-time kayo to get together. The reason why the stars, singers now can get together is kasi may kasama ng TV, may kasama ng pelikula.
Yes.
Kami, Pilita was busy with her singing alone and her TV show. I was also alone, and so we became friends. But particularly because we became better friends or acquaintances when Lloyd and Jackie were supposed to be, they were kids, sort of saying each other. Then we became friends, Lita and I. So that's the only time I got to know her and she got to know me.
I see.
But it's the people that they're very
that create the drama.
Fanatics sila kay Pilita. My fans were very subdued.
Yes.
Hindi sila katulad ng ganun ba?
Yes.
So it is more the fans that created all this controversy. But personally, maybe in a little small way, we had our own insecurities, as you call it.
Yes.
I'll call it insecurity. And I found Pilita to be so beautiful and so such a good singer. I didn't know that until I went out.
Oh my God.
Until kumanta na
Napaka-sexy mo. Di ba?
And then, but kasi, ang personality ko iba akala niya suplada ako. And
ako rin, yun ang impression ko sa'yo.
Yun ang problema ko. I don't sit with people when I sing in a restaurant, I don't join people. I'm not very friendly. That's my fault.
I thought all the while talaga, yun din talagang impression ko sa iyo na may pagkasuplada. Doon sa tatlo, di ba? So, hindi pala. So, yun, mabuti na lang, na-clear. Okay, Matinee Idol of the 80s. You started in 1979. First movie mo was Gabon.
Under Mario J.
Yes.
But prior to that, speaking of Joe Carino's show, for those that don't know, JQ is the parang, ano ba itong kay Simon Cowell?
Legend na yan eh.
I mean, kasi hindi na alam ng mga tao kung Tito Joe's shows. But anyway, when my mom used to sing regularly, kuminsan, he would request for him to bring me along. Hindi naman ako singer.
Bagets ka pa nun eh.
I was like
diba?
12, 13 years old. But I would do the little duets with my mom. And then I got into commercials. I was a close-up boy. When the close-up guys were still the big ones, Gabi, William, lahat kami nun.
Yes.
And then I got when my mom was at the time still with Eddie Rodriguez, who was a director also. They were casting for Gabon, and that's how I got involved. Tinanong ako, would you want to act? Kasi for the longest time, my mom didn't really encourage me to enter showbiz, and I never understood why. Kaya sabi niya, you don't know the heartaches of an artista. Nakikita mo yung glamour. There's a lot of being turned down, na hindi mo alam. Bakit ayaw sa'yo? Kaya nga, hindi mo naintindihan yun. And I wanted to spare you from that. Thought, I'd be a big star right away. I did know that there are stages that you have to pass through.
Right.
But I was fortunate because I did the right movies. Yung nagkaroon din ako ng swerte when I started.
He was into acting more. Talagang pop star siya noon. And then I heard him sing, Sabi ko, Lloyd, why don't you make this fall back? Because you do have. I will not encourage him that. I mean, to sing. If I didn't think he had the voice, he had it, but he was.
I didn't understand at the time na you can do both. Kasi nakikita ko yung na mas nadadalian ako sa trabaho ng pagiging artista kaysa sa singing.
Okay.
Although ang singing
mas madali ang trabaho ng
singing. Actually, much later I realized. Kasi sila, syempre, pupunta ka doon, you do your show, after 2 hours, you're done.
Tapos na.
Hindi ka tulad ng shooting, gabi-gabi yan.
Yung reaction ng audience na andun ka agad.
Instant, di ba? So I wish, looking back, sabi ko nga, I wish, Mom, kasi pag naglalala ang career ng isang actor, you can go into singing.
Yes.
And vice versa.
Right.
You can do both. But when I was young, nakita ko na sa acting ako pubutok.
Tsaka Matinee Idol ka noon eh. My gosh.
Doon ako nag-stick at the time.
Yeah. Binanggit mo si Eddie Rodriguez. Is it true, nagkaroon kayo ng romantic relationship ni Eddie? Of course, Eddie was, a respected actor at saka director.
Yes,
diba?
Yes, he was.
So, naging kayo.
It was a long relationship, actually. We're together 7 years.
Oh,
yes,
that long.
But at that time, he was married, so we couldn't get married. And some people would go to Hong Kong to get married, but what's the use? Anyway, we were together quite a length of time. It was only, alam mo na naman, pag director and artista, maraming mga tentasyon.
Pero what many people don't know, Mom, di ba, he courted you early on. I remember.
He was my, you know that he was
Wala pa ito.
He was my boyfriend when I was 15 years old.
She was a dancer in, was it LVN, Mom?
Yeah, I was. I met him in LVN. I was 15 years old. So that's where I started.
Bagets pa talaga.
Ngayon, nakilala niya ako, tapos niligawan niya ako. Kaya masyadong boys. 15, 16. Masyado bang... My mother fell in love with him. So, noong araw, niligawan naman, bibisita lang siya ng sandali, tapos alis na. Hindi pa sa sikat noon. Parang co-star lang siya. Nagsisimula siya. So, he would invite me to go to... Sa ano pa noon, yung hamburger sa Luneta pa noon, yung panahon na yon. That was the thing of,
Yes,
so I would bring my 3 brothers with me, always with me. And then, yun. But then he started becoming, sumisip.
A leading man na.
First love mo?
Hindi pa kami, hindi siya first love.
Ay, hindi ba?
Kasi hindi naman, hindi ko nga sa type. I liked him because he was so good looking and so everything.
Debonair siya.
You would like, parang crush lang ba? But it wasn't really the thing that I would want so much. Kasi, yun nga, he was very poised. When he would visit, he'd talk to my mom.
And you were 2.
And I was 15, 16.
Okay.
I lied to him. I said I was 16. But anyway, at that time. So,
otherwise, walang Lloyd.
Otherwise, walang Lloyd.
Yeah. Di ba, nakakatuwa lang, no? Alam mo, naging host ka ng 3 musical show.
Yes.
For men only, not for men.
Yes. Carmen on camera.
Carmen in color.
In color
on camera first. On camera
at saka in color.
In color.
Tatlo, di ba? Tatlong TV show. You were really talaga a big star during your time. And you got Lloyd at a very young age. You were 20.
I was 20, yes. I went to, I was taken by a TV show in Australia to all the stars from even in the States to sing there for like a month. They get you from here. Nakita ko sa Bulacan yan. Nilala ko doon. Anyway, in the hotel that I was staying, his father was there as a guest.
The senior.
Yes.
Lloyd Samartino Senior.
Yes.
And he's Italian.
Italian-American.
So, he was getting friendly with my cousin who was parang matandang dalaga. So sabi ng pinsan ko, naku, wag akong bula-bulahin mo. Mayroon akong pamangkin doon sa taas. Sabi niya, yun ay papakilala ko sa'yo. But anyway, eventually, she introduced us. And then, Christmas Day yun, pumunta kami sa simbahan. He was so drunk, but he went to Mass. That impressed me. Kasi sabi ko, baka Katoliko. So, siyamahan kami sa simbahan, kahit na siguro nahihilo siya. And then, that impressed me about him, that he was a Catholic, and that he was a good-looking, very good-looking boy,
Yes.
Then, the next day, I left for another city, niligawan niya ako through the phone, and he proposed, because he found me a decent girl, at that time, Italiano din ang pamilya, kaya may pagkamanong din ng parents.
Conservative.
So, but he was younger than me 1 month. We had to ask permission from our parents before we could get married. And then after, then the problem was, alam mo, masyadong pinay ako, masyadong mahinhin. Ang mga Amerikanong 20-year-old, fiery, and they want you to be a little bit independent.
Right.
And I was too clingy, I want to go here, you go with me. So it wasn't the kind of type of thing. We were young, but he was a very nice one, very good looking.
I know. I mean,
Ang yabang niya.
Hindi. The mom, I've not seen your dad, but of course, seeing him.
More the dad than
More than
me.
that.
You can see, I can see myself in him Kasi,
I don't know. Are you in touch with your dad?
No, he died a long time ago.
Oh, sorry.
But he eventually, after 8 years, he also had a second family na. But anyway, when they separated, kasi he's Italian Australian, not American.
Okay.
Italian Canadian.
No, he became Canadian.
Okay. No, he is Canadian, but he just
then he went to Australia.
No, he
to
was
work.
working lang there.
Tama.
Okay.
Not
Italian American.
Not Italian American.
Canadian.
Alright.
He's Canadian.
So, yun. So, much later, I met his family, meaning his brothers, his sisters. I even met my grandparents before they died.
How young were you then?
I was probably 18
okay.
already. Kasi, but ano na sila talaga?
Pero hindi mo nakita yung dad mo?
No, not for a long
He never
time.
saw it.
And when I turned 14, he died. I didn't find out until I was 16.
Oh my. Oh.
You know, it was by accident na I guess yung kasama niya sa trabaho niya na nakilala ang mami ko in Australia when they got together, came to Manila and watched her show in Eduardo's.
Oh yeah, so Rose
Diba,
Boulevard.
sila mga queen ng Eduardo's noon.
Yun.
So anyway, then this guy told her, sabi niya, I remember you were telling me this, Mom, it's a pity about Lloyd.
No, I asked him, you know
Lloyd?
what, I would like Lloyd to visit his dad. Do you know where he is? Manager kasi niya yun eh.
Yes.
Sabi, didn't you know? What? Kasi we lost touch with each other. What? He died 6 years ago in an accident, in a car accident.
Oh my.
And Lloyd didn't know 6 years before, patay na pala. And we were planning for him to visit. Kasi I wanted him grown up, a little bit grown up to travel.
Yes.
So he was 14 then. Sabi ko, pwede na. Nag-uumpisa na siya sa showbiz noon eh. Di meron na siyang, alam na niya ng konti ang mundo. But then we found out that Dad died. I found out and I didn't know how to tell him. But anyway, he had a family. And they became pamilya niya.
Well,
they
I
came here.
ended up,
They came
and
here.
then when I got married,
Visit
I
me.
flew them in.
Oh.
You know, kasi nga, di ba, I married into Malacanang. So,
Yes,
it was a big
yes.
deal for my family. So, my Italian relatives in Canada flew in. And then my half-brother and sister from Australia flew in also for that. So, I got to meet them.
How many siblings you have?
2.
Dalawa. So
half
these are
brother
younger?
and sister. Younger, much younger.
Oo.
than
Parehong
me.
babae.
No, brother and sister young.
Oo, talaga. So you're the kuya, you're the big
I'm
brother.
like the kuya.
Oh, it's maganda, di ba? Kahit paano na ano pa rin kayo.
When they got here, they could not understand also bakit napakadami naming restrictions. And I was saying, you know, I'm marrying into the family of
Oh yeah,
of
right.
these
I just
people.
could imagine, oo.
So, syempre, hindi pwedeng wild tayo sa labas.
diba?
Kasi susundan tayo ng dyaryo. Tapos, paano ko i-explain sa kanila na we're just being being relaxed and you know, just being ordinary.
It's not...
So, naiinis sila. Actually, nagulat ka ako. My mom was more the referee. Kasi siya nag-i-explain, alam mo, ganito talaga. Yung ina-explain sa kanya, may mas pasensyoso siya. Ako kasi I was under a lot of stress because, you know, you have a wedding.
Especially, that was your day, special day.
You have a wedding that's coming up. Sila, they want to party so much. Hindi mo naman pwedeng pakawalan na walang security kasi hindi naman nila alam ang kalakaran sa Pilipinas.
Exactly.
You know, baka makidnap na hindi mo alam. So, naiinis sila bakit ang daming restriction.
Yes.
And then eventually, sabi ko sa mom, I don't want to explain. Ikaw na lang. Hindi ko, yung napapagod akong kaka-explica na una-una, ganito yung situation ko. Number 2, ganito ang pag-upbringing ng Pinoy. Hindi tayo yung pag sinabing, dito lang tayo, we learn to keep quiet and follow. But sila, they're not that way.
We are respectful.
And we're respectful to our elders.
Right.
Diba? Sila, they debate. Debate sila ng debate. Hindi ako sanay. So eventually, after about, pinagbigyan ko, I got married, 1 year sila nandito. Then after that, sabi ko, I think, bumalik muna kayo doon. Grow up some more.
Ang tagal.
Oo, pinagbigyan ko ng 1 year after my
They
wedding.
Stayed with you?
They stayed with my mom.
Oh, yeah?
Yung bahay niya sa multinational.
In fairness, he was being a Filipino kuya.
Na ayaw nila.
You know, and
I
got to know them.
Yes.
I got to know the girl. And panahon ba ng flower child na she would eat sushi, things like that, and she would dress, the kind of dresses that he wanted her to be Filipina type. If I'm an example,
conservative.
Ganon ba? Yung talagang Filipina.
I-join na nila yung, wow, I have a brother that's in Malacanang. So, pag pupunta sila ng mga hotels, nililibre sila ng hotel or bibigyan sa restaurant. Yung
daming perks.
Ang daming perks. So, they're starting to enjoy it. But the problem is, you're enjoying the perks, but you don't want to follow the discipline.
Yes.
Hindi pwedeng...
nakakahiya naman,
exactly.
Di ba?
So sabi ko, you need to grow up some more. So anyway, you've been here a year, bumalik muna kayo doon. And then, we'll hook up later on. But they got very hurt with that. So sabi ko, then let time heal it na lang. There's nothing I can do. I have to live my life here. And you have to grow up some more. Kasi they're much younger than me.
Anong adjustment mo during that time na, syempre, father-in-law mo was, of course, the president of the Philippines. Like what you said, sobrang security, ang daming restrictions. So, ano yung, let's say, after nung wala na siya sa pwesto? Ano yung nabago sa'yo?
Well, of course, things change. Yes. The reality of it is talaga is, there are people that never used to talk to you and all of a sudden they do because you are son-in-law.
Right.
Diba? And then when all that finished, ako naman, I didn't have a problem with it, Tita Aster. Kasi, because galing ako sa pagiging artista, naintindihan ko yan eh. Your career goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down.
Right.
So when that whole era finished, which I knew it was after 6 years, matatapos din yun. I reverted back lang to my regular life. The only difference is, it took a while for me to get my acting career started because the impression ng tao, ng mga showbiz producers is, nandiyan ka sa Malacanang, marami ka ng pera, you don't need to work.
Yes.
So it took a while. It took a long time, So fortunately, I got into other businesses muna. Kasi nakita ko rin na hindi ka mabubuhay kung showbiz lang.
Totoo yun.
Diba? Yun ang tinuturo ko sa mga batang artista. You will not survive if this is the only...
Dapat may plan B ka rin, di ba?
Kasi ilan lang naman ang Aga Mulak, ilan lang ang Sharon Cuneta, but even then, kahit sila, nagsa-sideline sila ng ibang business na.
Lloyd, I don't know kung siya yung naging first boyfriend ni Jackie Lu Blanco. Diba? Nandun yung connection eh. Because the two moms, diba? Pilita Corrales, of course, and of course, si Carmen Soriano. Siguro, I don't know, naging magkaibigan lang muna sigurado kayo.
You know how that happened? Kasi sila na yung
may
political rival sila. Carmen Pilita Carmen.
Yes.
Sa strip yan, if Mami is in Eduardo's, Pilita is in another, basta ganun.
Gonzalo's.
So ngayon, si Ricky Lo decided, sabi niya, why don't we put you together since anak ka ni Pilita at anak ka ni Carmen. So nilagay kami sa cover ng Express Week.
The magazine.
The magazine dati, di ba? So that started it. And then when I saw her, I was so smitten. Sabi, oh my God, napakaganda naman ito.
Oo, tisay din. Tisay ka rin.
But yung sa akin naman, it doesn't matter. Basta nagustuhan ko lang.
How young were you then?
I was 16.
And she was?
14.
14. Okay.
So, and then after that, hindi alam ng mama ko. Kinuha ko yung number. Tumatawag-tawag na ako. Basta inaaraw-araw ko na si Jackie. And then eventually, we became boyfriend-girlfriend. But all that lasted only 2 years.
That was still long, ha? Kasi
2 years
ang babata niyo pa eh. So, aprobado naman ng parents niyo, syempre.
Well, Mommy naman is cool when it comes to the people I date.
I warned him. I said, Lloyd, daughter ni Pilita yan. For heaven's sake.
Tsaka yung abolita pa ni Pilita.
Don't do anything at all that would embarrass me, na magalit sa akin or something, or will create a stir. Whatever togetherness you have, keep it,
down and low.
Very respectful and all that, which I think they did, all that time, because I let them, Jackie would come visit our house with a maid, she's chaperone. for them to, I think it was the natural growing up teenage crush on each other until they outgrew it, and then they went their separate ways.
But you were not spared of controversies then.
Yes.
Remember? I remember pretty well before na, bakit na-link ka nun sa, kay dating
Marcos.
President Marcos? Paano nagsimula yun?
I thought that was forgotten already.
Oo, di ba? Parang, syempre yung mga kaedad ko, alam namin yun Di ba?
When he saw her, because I remember that.
She's so pretty.
My
God, ang ganda-ganda, ang sexy-sexy ng mami mo.
Kasi hindi lang naman yun Marami namang mga big captains of industry that were also...
Nakapagtaka lang kasi, bakit nga siya na-link kay President Marcos?
Because lumigaw talaga.
Okay.
Na
So
hindi
it was true.
Hindi alam ni Imelda.
It was true pala.
Lumigaw siya. Kaya lang, I mean, nothing came out of it. But to Imelda, especially during that
mga
time.
blue ladies niya, I didn't see him.
Paparusahan ka kahit di mo kasalanan.
Pati records ko, binan.
Tumigil. Pati yung Carmen, yung all her shows, all of a sudden, wala na.
Nawala na ko ng trabaho. Because it wasn't Imelda. It was the people around there.
It was her.
Firing for her, whatever.
Pero you were judged already.
Yeah.
It was true. Kahit wala pa, it was true. So, there was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And you were at the peak of your career then.
Nung sinabi na lang sa akin ng recording company na, ano ba ang recording company ni James D?
Dyna.
Dyna
Records.
I made a long-playing record ready to be released.
Biglang hinold.
Hinold yun. Pinasabihan sila na wag palabas. I didn't know that. You know? All I knew was that, how come nobody's getting me? You know, I was wondering. I was at the height of my career.
And so you became jobless all of a sudden.
Yes, that's why I had to go to the States. I moved out to the States.
Wow.
And when I went there cold, sabi ko, well, anyway, in short, it was nobody's fault. It was just too controversial ba? Alam mo ba na tinawagan pa ako sa States, akala pinatay ako, binuhusan daw ako ng accident.
To that extent, yes.
Meron pa ako nakita sa Chismis Magazine na malungkot sila pilita, all the singing stars, thinking that I had died. Pinuntahan ako ng periodiko, international periodiko, asking me if that was true and that if I was, they came to my house and said, "Are you Carmen Soriano?" They visited me and asked me, "What is this? We heard you're dead."
Yeah.
I was shocked. Sabi, my cousin said, "Carmen, patay ka na ba?" I was in Hawaii. Sabi ko, kausap mo ako. Sabi niya, naku, nasa dyaryo. Alam lahat na patay ka.
That's how vindictive they were.
Wow.
To get a visa, may kotang Amerika.
Yes.
No?
And
tapos na ang kota.
Yeah.
But tinuruan ako ng isang immigration officer na, you prove yourself to be really an exceptional talent. And, talagang I wrote letters to wherever I worked. I even wrote ABS-CBN. Somebody responded. I don't know who I wrote to. I wrote to President.
But they all gave you recommendations.
Senator Aquino. I wrote to President Marcos. To ask them to, so that I could include this, that I am a star. I'm not a burden to America. And they did. One nice letter was from, of course, Senator Aquino then. He said that I am America's gain in Philippines loss. What nice words. But anyway, I included all those, and then the stations where I work, they sent letters of recommendation that I am a star.
Kasi everybody can say I'm a singer.
Senators,
siyempre you have to prove.
Senators, I have to prove.
Right.
So, meron silang mga, sa kanilang sulat, ng letterhead, which proved that my letters were real.
Genuine,
yes.
yeah.
And then I was disapproved first. Hindi disapproved, dinagdagan ko pa before I was approved, that I was of exceptional.
Malaking challenge.
I suffered a long time. He didn't know about it because I had to leave him.
Pagiging pabling nung binata ka pa, were you?
I don't know. I was testing the ground. When you're a young matinee idol,
I know.
Everybody's interested in you.
Oo, di ba?
Marami. Sasabihin ko sa iyo. Pumunta sa bahay namin, hindi ko lang masabi mga pangalan.
hindi ako nag-girlfriend, hindi ako masyadong mahilig sa artista.
I will not name names.
Tayo na lang,
but some of my leading ladies.
Behind the camera.
Some of my leading ladies, I had
short
relationships with.
Oo, alam ko kung kani-kanino ka nalilig.
Alam mo, Aster, when he was growing up and he was a pop star, I knew he would have he will meet mga stars.
Yes.
And I was afraid he could not, hindi naman niya pwedeng dalhin sa mga because he was too young, 16. So I built him my bachelor pad in my house, which has a private entrance.
Oh!
Ngayon, ang rule ko sa
kanya, konsentidor ang nanay.
Yan mo na. Kasi takot ako eh.
Okay.
Baka yung makilala niya, baka makilala niya, may boyfriend din na, somebody will kill him because may crush lang sa kanya, So, I wanted him to be able to go to a place where he will not be, in trouble. So, kasi noon, mga motels and hotels and all that, those are the places that they could go.
Right.
But he was too young. So, I built him a bachelor pad, which has sariling entrance. Pero kita rin siya, nakikita rin ng entrada ng mga katulong.
Okay.
My condition was, Lloyd, I will not watch you, I will not catch you.
No, don't tell them that.
Basta wag mo lang sasabihin na
I approve.
Hindi kasi, it doesn't mean they're doing anything wrong. Right, they probably just want to sit down and listen to music and, like what we did when we were young.
Yes. Pinsan mo na lumalabas, no? Si Ricky Davao.
Yeah, well,
Ricky
is my fourth cousin.
Okay.
Sa dugo,
pamangkin ng asawa ko.
Yes.
Kaya lang, my mom kasi and Ricky, Charlie Dabao's brother and my mom got married. They became husband and wife.
Yeah, right.
They're third cousins. Dr. Dabao. They're third cousins.
Okay.
So, kaya nga, tapos si Ricky, naging asawa si Jackie Lou. Parang nga kami, ginisa.
Both sides, no? Both sides.
So, sabi ko kay Jackie, when we work occasionally, sabi ko, bilib talaga ako, nakatali yung mga buhay natin sa isa't isa, napakaliit ng mundo.
But in fairness to Ricky, whatever differences there was in all our families, kasi very closely knit.
Yes.
My parents were in this the parents of the mother of grandparents in only one street. Kamag-anak magkakasalak.
Yes.
Ganun sa probinsya.
Clannish kasi yung mga
pero kaya lang ko lang napangasawa yung Davao. Sa Aster ang tawag ko, talagang tiya ko yun. It's because he was older than me 8 years. He grew up without me. I mean, I didn't see him. I didn't know him from before. He married in the States. He divorced in the States. Basta dun siya, I never met him once, except when he saw me.
In the States pa.
When he saw me. He was the one who courted me when he saw me. So,
not knowing that you related.
Huh?
No, alam niya.
Kaya lang.
Third cousins, di ba?
Yeah, third cousins.
Okay.
He didn't care.
Kaya lang,
actually, ganun ang mayayaman.
Kasi my mom was saying na, we're family.
Mikey Arroyo and Angela, they are second cousins. Second cousins. So, di ba?
Third cousins ako.
Usually, kadalasan sa mayayaman talaga nangyayari yun.
Well, lumigaw siya eh. Ayoko naman sa kanya. Sabi ko, wala ka ba? Pipinsan tayo.
Pero meant to be.
But
eventually.
Yeah, in his visits, but it took a long time.
Yeah.
It took a long, long time, and we were already in our 50s when we got together.
It turned difficult in the latter part. So eventually my wife and I had to separate, and it got complicated. And anyway, and then eventually she died. So, but what happened to me was I had other relationships. As a matter of fact, I lived with somebody for quite a long time. But I was afraid of marriage na. Nagkaroon ako ng,
natakot ka bigla.
Parang gano'n. So, I don't know. Now, maybe we'll see. It's not a priority for now.
Kasi but there's somebody now.
I have someone
non-showbiz
in my life. Yeah. Well, kinda, but not artista.
Okay.
Theater, more in theater.
More closer to your age.
And yeah.
Somehow related pa rin. Related pa rin.
Ako talagang ayoko na.
Malay mo.
Ayoko na.
Malay mo. Diba?
Ayaw.
Look at Pilita.
I know.
Look at Pilita.
Pilita has always been a very loving girl, you know.
Yes.
She's always been outgoing. I don't need a man in my life.
anymore.
I don't.
You have your son.
I have my son.
I have your grandson.
And to tell you frankly, we don't live a very... We are close, huh? We're close. We can talk about everything in life. But we live separate lives. Like, I don't call him unless he calls me, or he doesn't just drop by my house and just, hey, Mom, I'm here. Even if we're just close. Pero when we sit down, basta Sundays yan, nagtitimba kami.
Nakakalungkot na we have to cut this now. But like what I said, there should be a part 2. Pero bago tayo magpaalam, bago ko kayo pasalamatan, I'd like to thank my good friend, Richie Ang of Richie's Kitchen for providing this place,
beautiful
venue for us.
Correct.
Thank you so much. Kasi I was able to convince you to do it here.
Yes.
Dapat ako ang dadayo sa bahay nyo. Pero next time, sa part 2, diba? Ako yung dadayo sa bahay nyo.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you.
Like what I said, it's my pleasure. Di ko alam kung paano kayo pasasalamatan. Lloyd, thank you so much. All these years, hindi mo pa rin ako nakakalimutan. Di ba?
So nice, to reminisce about...
Di ba? Ang dami, nakakaano nga eh.
You don't know how long we will see each other next time, but still, during our time, it was the greatest time of my life.
But I promise, the next time, I will be the one to visit you.
Sige.
Marami ako i-chismis sa'yo.
Di ba? Marami ako gustong malaman pa.
More in-depth.
Yes. Lloyd, can you go ahead kung gusto mong pasalamatan, acknowledge, or imbitahin?
Anyway, first of all, Tita Aster, thank you for this chance.
Thank you so much, too.
And for all the people in the online world,
TikTok,
TikTok with Tita Aster, but it's nice to have these opportunities. These are rare gems that will live on forever.
Thank you.
Someday, this will be a small library of Tita Aster's interviews.
Yes.
Na i-compile yan sa isang
parang si Ricky Lo.
Parang gano'n.
Di ba? Si Ricky Lo, ilang ano na kaya siya. Yung book niya, di ba? Ilang series na yon.
So, ikaw naman, video compilation.
Yes. I'm still a big fan of yours. Kaya sabi ko nga kanina, sobra akong na-starstruck. Dahil first time tayo got close to this, one-on-one, first time. And of course, naging posible ito because of Lloyd. Thank you so much.
Yes, I was quite surprised. Thank you for thinking of me. Sabi ko, are you sure? Whoever remembers me. He says, Mom, he said, both of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So sabi ko, you go na lang. But anyway, I'm glad I came. I didn't know what this was all about. I enjoyed the place. I'm glad
beautiful
I met the
venue.
owner because I will bring my friends over.
Richie's Kitchen.
And most especially to you for remembering me, for giving me the opportunity to talk about myself a little bit, and for the fans to know about me a little bit if I don't.
Especially the generation
very rare,
now.
Yes. Very rare do I get this opportunity. Thank you, Esther.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carmen. And of course, Lloyd, thank you so much. And I want to be seeing more of both of you.
We will.
Hindi lang. Gusto ko talaga, may interview, wala. Ako nang dadala. Promise.
God bless you all.
Be
careful. Take care of yourself during this time.
Mga kaibigan, hanggang sa susunod. Dito naman po sa TikTok with Aster. Mga kaibigan, let me thank my personal friends, ang aking mga personal sponsors na tumutulong sa inyong lingkod. Maraming salamat, Richie's Kitchen. Of course, sa aking kaibigan na si Richie Ang, maraming salamat. At sa kanyang mga magagaling na chef, thank you so much. Ever Belena, Beauty Derm, Studio Manila, Nes Astilla Salon for my hair and makeup, Gandang Ricky Reyes, Bebot Santos of Colorete Clothing, at syempre pa sa aking kaibigan dyan sa Amerika, Chato Sugay Jimenez, and of course, Dr. Cesar Jimenez. Thank you so much. At sa inyo mga kaibigan na patuloy na sumusubaybay sa ating programang TikTok with Aster Amoyo. Maraming salamat hanggang sa susunod na Biyernes po.